What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday. This is Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Of course, you guys are all here for one reason, and that's to check out the Monday market report for the week ending February 20th, 2022. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And second of all, this is where we talk about the most relevant post-1900 modern coins to have sold in the marketplace this week. No different like any other week. We are going to take a look at some of the listings from greatcollections.com, one of the biggest marketplaces out there for coins and currency. If you guys are looking to sell some of your big-time coins or currency, Great Collections is a great place to go to. They will hook you up with whatever you need. But also on the second, relevant part to Great Collections is that they continuously pump out some of the highest quality coins that you can ask for in the marketplace. So if there's a specific type coin you're looking for, Great Collections is your place. Now, I'm not at all affiliated with Great Collections, although they have been one of my favorites for years now. I buy a lot of stuff from them, and it's no different today. Although we could kind of say that maybe the market might be thinning out a little bit. There's not nearly as many high quality, that is, type coins that you could find out in the marketplace, because of the big show that we had last month, the fun show, and then Long Beach this month. It's just, there's a lot of emphasis on the show schedule these days, and I think we got another one in March coming up. But yeah, this has been one of the more active Great Collections weeks since the beginning of the year, and I would say that this report could have easily been 30 to 40 coins. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a strong possibility, but we kept it at 20. We're going to talk about not really my favorites, but I think that the most relevant pieces for this week have all made the list. A lot of five-figure coins in the mix. Some of them are really going to shock you. If you guys haven't seen that thumbnail, we have a fresh new graded coin. A Pop 1 Zero Finer. It's the top of the mountain right now. Realized all the money in the world for it, and it's going to go into a high-profile registry collection, I'm sure. All right, so without waiting too much longer, let's go ahead and jump in to the latest and greatest from Great Collections. We're going to start it off here. 1972 Lincoln Memorial Cent. The reason why I hesitated there for just a short little second is that this is not a doubled die. Oftentimes you see me highlight a 72, and Great Collections has managed to find quite a few really nice pieces of a 72 FS101 double die. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is not that. This is just a registry set bomb right here. A non-variety 1972p Lincoln. This one grades out PCGS mint state 67 plus full red. It's been a minute since we've actually seen a just standard Philadelphia 72 hit the market to where it is prominent enough to make the Monday Market Report list. As you guys know, I've been doing this report for coming up on 3 years now. So I would say in that 3-year period, I've probably talked about a high-end 72p maybe twice. This might be the second time. So these come up so infrequently. The quality on these coins are a little bit suspect, as you would imagine, for a lot of the coins during its era. Finding one that's quite this clean and worthy of a 67 plus moniker, it can be quite a challenge, and this one happens to be that one. It does indeed look the part of a coin that I would assign a 67 plus to. The fields are just really clean on this one. It's got a really nice strike, Yeah, a registry set is going to be the ultimate home. I would be cautious about investing into coins like this unless you were really invested in a registry set of your own. That this is really the only place for a coin like that. This one ended up selling for $3,208.50. Pretty nice, although it's not a pop one or anything. There are a number of these. It is 67 plus. It's a welcome sight to see one of these after a prolonged absence. Now here's a really good one here, and one that we don't see that often. As a matter of fact, it's as rare as a 69S doubled die obverse, but this, ladies and gentlemen, is a 1970S. If not for the 69S that we all know and love and strive to find because it's like a big payday, the 70S would most certainly be the kind of like the big variety for the Lincoln Memorial Series. But this one, second place is not bad. This is definitely one that I would say you should still look out for if you are pursuing such a coin. This particular example right here grades at PCGS Mid-State 64 Red. It is also FS101 in the Cherry Picker's Guide. A little bit deceptive. This looks more like a red-brown just based off of the oxidation of the coin. But, if it was an older graded example, it might have oxidized a little bit in that holder. Kind of hard to say. I don't know. Maybe the pictures are just showing a little bit dark, and maybe it really is a full red specimen in hand. A lot of your doubling on this one is going to be in the motto "In God We Trust," although to a little bit lesser degree, you're going to see some doubling in Liberty and in the date as well. And keep in mind, these are all large date 1970Ss. So that kind of opens things up for would-be treasure hunters out there that's looking to really cash in on a modern variety that's worth quite a bit of money. This example, it's not the highest grade I've seen. I've seen plenty of 65s and 66s out there. Just in the last 12 months, I would say I've probably seen a good half dozen or so. This one right here sold for $3,236.62. Now here's the big one for the week, and quite a shocker right here. 1966 Lincoln Memorial set. Now 66 has always been one of those dates that has suffered with, from a myriad of strike issues. Most notably, die deterioration, that sort of thing. 1966s just did not look very good. And oftentimes, I would say 99% of the coins would look pretty well mushy on the strike end of things. This one, however, looks really nice. This one popped at a 67 plus full red. I am happy to announce that this is the sole finest graded 66 Lincoln Memorial set. And it hit the marketplace. Fresh grade right here, and you better believe that this one's going to be in a registry set. That's all really that this one is geared towards. The price will surprise you as well. This one is sold for $10,125 last night. So I had my eye on this one. The moment I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay. So we got a new fresh high top pop coin here on our hands. Let's see where it ends at. And $10,000 did not disappoint. That seems to be kind of like that expected value of a fresh top pop soul finest coin in the marketplace from this particular kind of like date range, 50s and 60s, and that era. Really good to see. Keep in mind, these are all only minted in Philadelphia. There were no Denvers, no San Franciscos. So it's kind of a unique piece. Along with the 65 and 67 as well. And these were never produced in mint sets, just SMS sets, which are a completely different breed of strike. So they are quite tough to find. BU rolls are very scarce, and this one is probably a unique coin in itself, and the likelihood that any more 67 pluses come to market is going to be slim to none. So keep that in mind. We do have a few proof coins. Here's a 1960 large date Lincoln Memorial cent. This is a beautiful looking coin here. But this one, I think the deep cameo finish on there, where you have like the really nice frosty devices offset by that just wildly black kind of watery mirrored fields. You put those two things together on an early Lincoln cent like this, and you have probably one of the most stunning looking coins that you could come across. This one right here just turns out to be a PCGS Proof 69 full red. Again, it's a large date, which, is quite scarce. For those of you that have gone through these earlier proof sets, finding one with any sort of cameo frost or finish is scarce. All right, and you're going to end up pulling your hair out just trying to locate one for yourself. But once you do find one, oh boy, they are highly coveted, not only by registry set people, which normally this is where this is going to be geared towards, but just regular everyday collectors of this type will want something like this. This one sold for $2,531.25. Keep in mind, and someone had argued with me about how there's no like 90% era proof sets that can be had for under $40. I beg to differ. I have coin shops all across town. I'm in Northern California, so there's quite a few coin shops that have a lot of these proof sets for between $30 and $40, and that's kind of like the main wheelhouse of any post 1955 era proof set. For 56 to 64 is your sweet spot, because they have those 90% silver coins in there. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. These are drying up, by the day as more people are cherry picking them. But they are quite a nice lottery find if you do come across one. Now here's a 54 right here. A lot tougher. You're going to end up paying many hundreds of dollars just to own a 54 proof set, because they are low mintage and quite scarce. And again, finding one with any sort of cameo finish is going to be what wins the day here. And 54 is one of those dates where you just didn't see the frosty finish. A lot of them were all pretty soft and mirrory all over the place. So it was nice to see this one here. NGC graded, Proof 69 red ultra cameo. It's funny, it's got the same grade as the previous coin. I kind of like the 60 a little bit better, but a 54 you can't really bash or turn your head away from, because this is quite a rarity. This one right here sold for $11,418.75. When I mean rarity, when you could hit 5 figures for such a coin, I would say there's probably maybe, a good dozen or less of this particular date in Ultra Cameo in existence across the entire mintage, which tells you a lot. Now here's a 45S. This, for all intents and purposes, is a registry set coin. And this one right here, ladies and gentlemen, is another scarce one. This is a Pop 2 in a Mint State 68. None finer. So this is it. There are no 68 pluses or 69s out there to speak of. Registry set people rejoice. Another one had come to market, and quite a few people actually hammered it out. And then at the end, this one sold for $17,184.38. Very unlikely that you'll ever see another one in 68. It's a relatively decent minted date, even though it is a San Francisco, and all the San Franciscos are generally pretty well struck. Luster's not generally an issue, but finding one that's clean and mark free, and you have these uninterrupted luster cartwheels, are very difficult. So glad to see this one here. A lot of top-notch Lincolns sold this week. Glad to add this one to the list. And then we're going to round out the 1 centers with a 1921S, just an overall tough grade. Of course, this is during an era of the Great Depression where coins generally were not saved or hoarded at the time of minting. So finding some of them that grade mint state at all, it doesn't matter what color or what have you, finding any mint state grade 1920s, especially Denver and San Francisco minted coin, they're quite scarce, and especially finding one raw, you're going to have a heck of a time. This is a PCGS Mint State 65 Red. Beautiful looking coin. Again, quality-wise, it's what you would expect for the 1920s. This one sold for $12,133.12. All right, we got some 5-cent pieces here. We have a 2008D, and this is actually a satin finish. And the only place that you could find a satin finish mid-2000s era coin is going to be in a mid set. Okay, that's because that's what they were produced for. The satin finishes have just inexplicably just smooth, buttery appearance to the coins. Again, that satin finish, is a lot more cleaner than what you would find in a business strike. This one right here is a SP69 with full steps, and it looks every bit that part. This one, registry set material all day long, sold for $1,445.13. Now we do have some scarce nickels here in terms of strike quality. 64D, definitely one of the more tougher ones. We have a PCGS Mint State 66 with reported full steps on there. And again, a registry set will want something like this. This is not an investable coin. 64D, if I'm not mistaken, was minted over $1 billion. Right? Doesn't that sound familiar? Over $1 billion served on this one. And, but, less than a fraction of a percent of them actually have full steps. With the large quantities of these and the volume in which these were produced, quality kind of went by the wayside. Mint employees did not kind of refinish these dies, in certain aspects. They just ignored them through many tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of strikes. This one, however, ended up selling for $2,531.25. And same with 55D. Again, another tough one here. The only thing that you need to know about the mid 50s is that luster really is bad. It's not one of their strong points at all within this particular 2-3 year set. This one, if you have to settle and you need at full steps coin, how about 64 plus? A rather pedestrian grade by modern standards, but the full steps is what really makes this one scarce. This one is sold for $1,125, which, you're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, because we have seen Mint State 65s and 65 pluses sell for 2 to 3x what this one did. Now this one's pretty, and you could always hand it to a silver wartime era coin to exhibit not only the luster, but the strike. And then finding one with great eye appeal, especially if it came from an old album of some sort, will create some of these really magnificent kind of flowery toning patterns on these coins. And thank God for the silver, because that's what really, really does it. This one right here is just an absolute majestic example as a Mint State 68 full steps. It's really top of the mountain right here. This is like Mount Olympus of silver wartime nickels. I mean, you can't get any more stronger and more in depth of this one. I think with the combination of their originality with that toning and the overall numerical grade, you put those two things together and you have a coin that is a recipe for a lot of interest. And this one, no doubt about it, sold for $7,656.62. We've seen lots of strong sales of silver wartime nickels here lately, and then we're going to add this one to the mix. I have a feeling that's just going to continue, just keep on going up. It's a short series with a lot of interest because of its different composition. So that's why these things are revered as being some of the more better pursued coins in today's standards. Now we do have a couple nickels on tap here, buffaloes rather. I mean, we did talk about nickels, so we have a few more to add to the mix. 36 is a just common date, and I had done that video a day ago, kind of highlighting some of the coins I would buy at like the 25. All right, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. My microphone cut out for just a split second. But what I was getting to is I had done that video about a day ago highlighting some coins that you could get for right around 25 to 30 bucks, and BU Buffalo nickels of the 1930s, and more specifically some of the more common dates like 35 to 38, 1929, 1930p, a few of them. Are certainly targets for, kind of like calculated cherry picking. 36 is definitely one of those. And I've actually, in the more recent past, have cherry picked a few really nice 1936s and 37s. One ended up coming back from grading as a mid-state 67. So the possibility exists. That one that grades out this high, which is completely just an amazing type of grade to ask for as a mid-state 68, is certainly one to mention. Buffalo nickels have long been one of the more just really popular kind of U.S. type coins to collect because it certainly is like a top 10, for a lot of numismatists out there. And, there's dedicated registry sets. There are also a number of typesets and date collectors that are looking for some premier graded examples. And this one right here kind of fits a bunch of needs. And that's why it fetched so much interest on Great Collections this week. This particular example ended up selling for no slouch of cash, $5,236.88. Is quite a bit of money for a common date, and NGC Mid-State 68 is a really nice gift on this one. It's a good-looking coin, very nice strike, and not a lot of distracting marks on there. All right, so the next coin that we have on the list is going to be a 35D. Again, another coin, and that's kind of like same boat of very obtainable coins for an inexpensive rate. And the secret's not out or anything. It's been out for a long time. People love cherry picking these bargain basement type of obsolete coins. 35D is another great example here. In a mid-state 67, you could tell the difference. The strike is still quite nice. However, you see, more weak spots, right on the actual high point area of the hair on the obverse. Along with certain areas on the reverse as well. Just a really beautiful coin in this particular grade state. And this one sold for $8,156.25. And just to let you guys know, this is a much more scarcer date and mint compared to the 36. I mean, by a huge mile or a huge margin, however you want to classify it as, is really a beautiful coin right here. All right, on to good old dimes. And we're going to start it off with another 72. Yeah, kind of familiar, huh? We saw that Lincoln cent earlier in the show. Now we got 72 Roosevelt. And this one is actually kind of tough. This one managed to grade with full torch or full bands as a 67 through PCGS. Just an overall clean coin. There have been a number of really nice registry set worthy Roosevelt dimes sold this week. This one right here is one of them. This one sold for $2,002.50. Lots of potential here for a series that I think hasn't quite hit its stride all the way. So once all the other series become kind of out of reach for some of the bigger collectors, people are going to be looking at Roosevelt dimes. We might be able to see that shift here pretty soon. And the other Roosevelt that did sell this week that is, kind of like mentionable in this conversation is going to be this nicely toned 64. Again, another very common date. It's the last final date of the 90% composition planchets. This one right here, however, has a lot going for it other than the toning. The grading is quite nice at a PCGS Mid-State 67 plus, full bands or full torch. And it's also QA certed, which is kind of like a CAC sticker for modern coins. So that this is, it's got everything going for it. And this one also was bid up quite nicely. This one sold for $2,569.50. Let's see. I think we have two Mercury dimes. How about 42? Again, kind of, going back to that conversation of affordable cherry picks for under $30. A 42 Mercury dime in mint state condition is highly obtainable as a raw coin at coin shops, on eBay, at shows, you name it. This is a coin right here. You're not going to have any hard time trying to find in mid-state condition, especially if you want to add a really nice one to your type collection. This one just so happens to be a PCGS mid-state 68 full split bands with nice toning on both the obverse and the reverse. It's inoffensive. It's not gonna make you sick to your stomach. I mean, this is just a really nice quality piece right here. And this one sold for $3,150. The last dime of the bunch is going to be this 38 here, which is, I would say, probably my favorite coin of the week. It's just got all the things that you want and love about an original coin. Again, whatever you want to say about toning really kind of shows the age of the coin without really showing the age of the coin. I don't know if that makes sense, but there are people that really just don't like toning, and they would prefer to just go ahead and wash it away with some Tarnex or whatever, which is quite crazy, because when you have a coin with this kind of level of toning on there, it provides all the value. And there are people that are short-sighted enough to not see that. If you don't like it, just sell it. And, someone will buy it that wants it. This one is a 68 full bands with CAC certification on there. It has everything, everything you need as a collector. This one sold for $6,468.75. I would say a dipped example, while still being mid-state, will probably sell for a fraction. And we're talking like 10% of what this one sold for. If you're lucky enough to have it come back as maybe a 66 plus or 67, that might be a $600 coin. But when you have coins that look like this, don't do anything with them. Preserve them, sell them, and then kind of reap the rewards, of your dedication in that regard. Very nice coin right here. All right, so we got some doozies in the Washington Quarter arena. Okay, we have one of my favorite grades to collect on these very limited circulation rarity coins. This is a 2020 W Weir Farm. We're 2 years removed from one of the funnest treasure hunts in coin history, and this one right here is a mid-state 67, which is kind of like the grade that is targeted most because of the just insane drop-off in the population reports from a 66 to a 67. This is most definitely your buyout grade right here. I own a few of them. Even before they ran up in price to over $1,000 on most pieces. I bought a few of them, back about a year ago for a fraction of that, and I'm glad I did. This one right here sold for $1,294.88. And again, it's going to be a series that will age extremely well. Be on the lookout, because once the 67s really dry up in the marketplace, people might be pursuing the next grade. That's 66. If you're lucky enough to find a 68, that's where all the money's at. Those coins sell for easily in excess of 10 grand. Kind of hard to believe. Yeah, but there's a whole lot of love with this very short series from 2019 and 2020. Now, here's a sleeper right here. For the mere fact that the territory quarters of 2009 have largely been ignored. And then when you kind of combine that with just the overall quality issues of the coins that were produced in 2009, there's going to be some registry set sleepers here. This Northern Marianas Islands quarter, it's a Denver from 2009, is one of them. And this one is a mid-state 69 through NGC. If you got these, I wouldn't necessarily say, yeah, send them out to the graders, in hopes of getting one like this. This is just an incredibly difficult coin to grade. Again, a lot of them have little unsightly nicks and ticks and scratches along the edge that really would disqualify most coins from grading anything above, like a 66. But when you find one as good as this one, yeah, people are going to notice, and people did. This one sold for $2,193.75. And we're going to end it off on a 66. This is actually a much bigger coin than at first glance. A copper nickel clad era. Washington quarters were hated. Silver was gone from circulation, right around 64. And this new composition, no one was really in love with it. Therefore, not that many were preserved. 66 was also a date where they only produced SMS sets. There was no mid sets that you could buy to get a 66. So, your best bet are any leftover BU rolls, and, maybe one that was saved in an old album, which good luck with that. But yeah, this one right here is a 68, and it's as important as it looks, for a registry set. This one, any guesses before I even spit out the number? $7,655.62. And I say that with a lot of hesitation and just kind of like I'm just like choking at my words, because that is an awful lot of money for a really, really kind of like deep minted coin. But again, let's think about the era. Nobody saved these in BU condition. All right, those were few and far between, and inventory is light on this particular coin. So if you do have some, or someone that does have these coins that were saved up many years ago, you might want to consider searching through them, because there is a huge demand for these copper nickel clad late 60s Washington quarters in this kind of grade. All right, 68. It's a big one. I think that's a top pop right there. But that's going to go ahead and do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and say thank you again. Couldn't just do it without you guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't have this channel. And it was a lot of fun this week. A lot of big coins to talk about. And here we are, a week shy from March. We got one more in the books coming up here next Sunday. So you guys stay tuned. And of course, we got our other suite of videos that are quite sweet that you want to check out. If you want to, then hit the like button on this one. Share this video and subscribe. Hit that bell so that way you get notifications of those newest videos. But I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. That's going to go ahead and conclude this one. You guys take care. Have a great week. Short week, hopefully, for a lot of you. And I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.